had a golfer coming to me yesterday and I made a few changes at address that are so simple to do, and it had a huge impact on their backswing. But not only did it have an impact on their backswing, it really changed the way they struck the golf ball. They really moved their club path from the inside and started drawing the golf ball. So I really felt that I wanted to share this with you because it was such a simple change at address that had a huge difference. Now this golfer in their backswing really had a sway off of the golf ball. So as they took the golf club back, this lower half shifted to the right, and because of that, as they shifted to the right, the implication of that shift to the right is that it really moved their spine towards the target. Their setup was encouraging this, and when it encourages the spine to tip towards the target, what that will tend to do is cause a club path to swing outside in. And when the club path at 8.7 outside in, not my best striker in the world, all of a sudden we've got a problem. If we've got a club path that's swinging aggressively to the left because the spine is tipped to the left, that path that swings to the left is going to really cause you to do a couple of things. First of all, it's going to cause the golfer to really compromise their arm action, how their arms work through the shot. Now, if you've got a club path that's swinging to the left, if you were to release that club on this line here and unload it, you can see how aggressively left that golf ball went. So all of the time the path is going to the left, the golfer has to start to hold the club face off so that you don't miss it a long way left. Now this golfer had a fantastic grip. The left hand was in really good position, and if you haven't checked out my grip series videos, go take a look there, because that's going to really lock down your grip and get the face to your golf swing in great order. So what we did to start to change how that spine works in the backswing, I simply got them to set up to the golf ball and feel how their left hip moved forwards. I got them to put their hands out to the side so that their fingertips were the same distance from the ground. Now I bumped their left hip forwards, and all of a sudden, can you see my lead hand has lifted up and my trail hand has moved towards the floor. At this point, I now started to get the golfer to feel a bit more pressure into their left hip, and it made them feel like their hip line had a slight inversion where their left hip was higher than their right hip. Their left shoulder was lined up with their left ankle and the left hip. And then because of that, it enabled me to get their club shaft leant more forwards. This had a huge impact on the way they immediately moved their hip action on the way back. As soon as they started to take the golf club away, this right hip started to move inside. It really started to change the way the golfer used their feet. It rotated the hip, and now all of a sudden, look at the difference in the spine angle. The spine angle is now laid away from the target, and this is crucial because when you get the spine angle laid away from the target, all of a sudden that path line will start to attack itself more from the inside. 11 degrees. Now the more that spine angle moves away from the target as we make a backswing, what it will have the opportunity of the golfer to do is to start to have this space here that gives the golfer to do what they need to do with the grip. Now, if you haven't checked out my video series on the broom, these videos down here, they're going to really change the way you think about moving that handle on the way down, pulling it forwards. Oh, I know, it's a biggie. But I'm going to leave those videos to give you those insights. So all of a sudden, we had this left hip forwards, this grip forwards, this shoulder in line that now gave the golfer the opportunity to start to keep their low point. the base of their swing more centered compared to where they started, which was more hip tucked back away from the target, spine length forwards, which encouraged them to be very short in turn. Short in turn and a lifted arm swing, which made them cut across the back of the golf ball. Setting yourself at address is crucial for giving yourself the opportunity to move around the golf ball in an effective manner. Then what we got the golfer to do is a very simple drill that encourages more hip rotation in the backswing. So I've now got the golfer set up with the hip further forwards. I now put them in a position where their right foot or their trail foot pulled up to their lead foot. Now all of a sudden they can feel how their spine was tipped away from the target. And what I wanted to get them to do is now to start to feel how their right foot would encourage them to go back into that old motion. So their left foot stepping to the right all of a sudden made their hips block themselves off. I wanted them to feel how the left foot in a backswing is so easy to push a golfer off the ball. After getting them to do that, I then wanted to get them to feel how all of a sudden using their right foot in their backswing open their hip up. So now I got them to step to the left. And now they could feel how their left side started to feel like it had more pressure at the top of the backswing. So their left leg started to feel like it received the load as they got to the top. So when they stood up to the golf ball with this hip forwards, shoulder forwards, and grip forwards, now they started to use that right foot to encourage more hip turn, get the spine away from the target, which started to get that ball drawing back to the target. That right foot became a pusher. That hip forwards, grip forwards, all of a sudden got them way more loaded at the top. Spine away from the target, hip towards the target, right foot had pushed in their backswing, which gave them room to get this golf club moving in a really nice direction and from the inside. So all of a sudden, a very simple setup change inspired me to feel their way into using their feet differently, which opened up their hips, got their spine more laid over, and coupled with a really, really good grip that you can find up here, it put some power back into their golf swing, their path moved from the inside, and it will now allow me to start to change the way their arms work. Hopefully that's been insightful. A little setup change there that I know this weekend.
Are you tired of paying too much for your premium leather golf gloves? Head over to gxgolfgloves.com. These are gloves tried and trusted by elite amateurs and tour players alike. Enter my code GOODCOACHING to receive 10% off your next order. Go try them out, you won't be disappointed.
Is going to give you plenty of power on the golf course. If this has offered up some insights into your golf, do consider subscribing while you're here. And that, my friends, is good coaching.